Hey guys, Juice here, and I have a special video for you guys today. It's going to be about the storm, the superstorm of 2012 that is currently hitting the east coast of the United States. I want to make this video because meteorology is something that I know a little bit more about than the average person. So, it might be interesting for you guys to listen to my predictions and what I think is going to happen and what is happening right now. So, plus, where I live is directly in the line of the hurricane, and we're going to get it very, very bad. So, that is why I'm making this video, and as you can see, I live in Bangor, Maine, Maine is the northernmost state in the continental U.S., so we're right up there with Canada. We're right beside New Hampshire, and we have a border of the Atlantic Ocean, if you guys don't know where Maine is in the United States, or you don't live in the United States. So, basically, these are our alerts. We have a flood watch until 8 p.m. tonight. No, we have a flood watch until 2 a.m. this morning, or tomorrow morning. And we have a high wind warning until tomorrow morning. So, this morning we actually had a frost advisory when I went to bed and woke up. So that means that the ground is getting very cold despite the air getting very warm. As you can see right now, we have east-northeast winds at 15 miles per hour. Since this was updated at 4:19 and it is currently 4:35, the wind has picked up a little bit. It's more so now, maybe 18, 19, maybe 20. But yeah, it's just below the 60s. It barely made 60s today. It'll probably get lower as the storm moves in and cold air is forced underneath the warm front that is the hurricane. So, yeah. So these are the other specifications in the meteorology of my area. And yeah, let's get on to the actual storm. And if it would load, and it's not going to load because it's glitching out. Why are you glitching out? There we go. Okay, this is the actual storm right now. As you can see, it is basically on the very bottom of the New England area. Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Virginia, New York, and New Jersey are basically getting the brunt of it right now. But, I wish it had it on here, but the projected path right now, the storm is for it to get done here, move up to the north, and then curve to the northeast and head right through Maine. And I live right here, so we're like right in the center of where it's supposed to go. That's the projected path as of this morning, I believe, right before I went to school, because my second period teacher told me about it. So I don't know if it has changed yet, or if it will change. It will probably change because this thing has been so unpredictable. It has been changing throughout its lifetime, which makes it a very dangerous storm because we can't predict what it's going to do. We don't know what measures to take when preparing for it. So it's a very, very deadly storm. Right here, this giant blob that's kind of like sticking out from the center of it is actually another storm that formed way off in the west of the United States, and it's moved directly east for about a week and a half, I think, and is just now reaching the East Coast. It's forming with this hurricane as if it was planned. It's fitting perfectly in. And along its way across the United States, it's actually snagged a small cold front, which has caused it to start snowing and sleeting in some places. Now, this is not good for, well, it's good for the storm, it's not good for us, but this cold front right here is going to be forced as kind of like a sandwich center in between these two warm fronts that are the hurricane and the western storm, and that's going to cause something called freezing rain, which basically is rain that, well, it's a precipitation that has started out as rain from the clouds, has frozen as it's falling into either sleet or snow, and has melted but is still cold as it reaches the ground. So this causes for water and floods that can freeze very, very easily, which is not good. It's not the most deadly thing in the world. I think mostly the wind right now, it's what's going to be deadly to these folks. But the freezing rain and the snow that they're getting is also kind of not helping the situation, basically. So, up here in Maine, when it gets here, what is also supposed to happen is this blue, as you can see right here, is a giant cold front that is moving down from Canada. It's going this way, so it's going to encase Maine, encase the rest of New England that hasn't been affected by the hurricane yet. As you can see, down here it's cold in these locations because that freezing rain is cooling the earth and the air close to the ground, so that's why it appears cold in these areas despite the hurricane, which is obviously unusual for a hurricane situation, but this guy has not formed in tropical waters, so it's not a usual storm. But back to the cold front moving in, this could cause one of two possibilities to happen. What we hope will happen and what we think is most likely going to happen is that this guy will move in just as the hurricane is hitting us, and that they will form together. It will cause the hurricane to cool down. It will start producing snow, possibly hail and sleet at the same time. It will start to wear down the hurricane where it won't be as deadly. But another possibility could be that basically the hurricane starts moving faster, which it possibly could because it's very unpredictable. It starts moving faster, hits us faster than we had hoped, and stops the cold front from moving in because it's so powerful from the storm from the west, which would cause the cold front to just stop right here. It would stop at the edge of the hurricane. It would not move in. It would not weaken the hurricane at all. Or it would weaken sort of the edges, slowly eating away at it, but we want it to start weakening from the center, which is what we will get hit with. It won't do that if the hurricane starts moving faster. Instead, when the hurricane has moved out of Maine, in its path, a nor'easter is going to form. Now, if you don't live in the upper part of the United States, you're not going to know what a nor'easter is. Basically, A nor'easter is a hurricane that forms over land, so it's not as strong, and it produces, it's out of a cold front instead of a warm front also. It produces snow and sleet and hail, and possibly thunder snow, which is a thunderstorm with snow instead of rain. So it produces all of those things, doesn't have as strong winds, doesn't have as much precipitation as a hurricane does, but is still very, very dangerous and a very nasty sort of storm. So that's kind of like our equivalent of a hurricane up in this region, because we don't get hit with hurricanes. Well, we are now, but we usually don't get hit with hurricanes. So, basically, when it forms that nor'easter after the hurricane has left, the hurricane is predicted to flood roads, dump a bunch of rain on top of us, dump a bunch of freezing rain on top of us, and then the nor'easter is going to come in and freeze all of that over the roads and over people's lawns, over people's houses. That's dangerous because you cannot travel safely on frozen roads. You're going to definitely slip and crash. People's lawns are going to freeze, the woods are going to freeze, which is not good for the wildlife and the plant life there, which is basically what Maine lives off of. Yes, we're wild people out here. And it's not good for people's buildings because we have a lot of buildings made out of old wood and older materials that aren't used much anymore. That causes them to contract and expand, which weakens the frame of the house. Plus, if it dumps snow and then freezes the snow on people's roofs can collapse. So, not only that, it will probably freeze power lines, which will make all of our power go out for a while. We are predicted to lose power for 3 or 4 days, which is not fun. I've had to deal with that before. It is torture, because it is also freezing outside and we have no heaters. So, yeah. That's not going to be fun if that happens. Hopefully the first scenario where the cold front moves in first and then mixes with the storm happens. That's going to cause a little more precipitation and wind along with the hurricane, but in my opinion that's better than having frozen roads, frozen wilderness, and collapsed roofs. So yeah, that's basically what I think is going to happen with this guy. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I actually have a friend that lives in Pennsylvania. He is right now in the middle of the storm. So he has a camera set up for as long as he has power. And he's going to be recording the storm. He's going to be showing you guys what it looks like outside where he lives. And I'm going to post a link to his video and his channel below, so you guys can check that out. And I will see you guys later. Hopefully if I still have power by the end of this. So, yeah. See you guys later. Peace.